Welcome everyone to another video on Mishlei. I'm sorry I wasn't here for a long time. I didn't make a video, but I intend to try finishing this whole series and going through all of Mishlei, Be'ezrat Hashem, with God's help. So last we finished off. So we had two more psukim in the introduction to speak about, or at least one more pasuk, depending how you understand it, because the last pasuk is, maybe you could say, it's the beginning, the declaration before starting Mishlei. But anyhow, so we were talking about the different things the book is for, who it's made for, what its purpose is, and all of that. And remember, we spoke about, the Malbim said there's 4 things in every book, and we brought already 3 of these things in this book. But first, if you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe and help us grow this channel. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get started. So remember, the Malbim explained that everything has a form, a shape, something that causes it, and a purpose for it. And we already talked about who's the someone who created this book. This is Shlomo HaMelech, and the form of this book, we already said, is Mishlei. Now, so what is the and we explained everything else, what it's for. Now, what is the shape of the book? How does it go about these things? So the pasuk says like this: Lavin mashal melitza. This book helps you understand. It helps you understand a mashal, a parable, and a melitza. To understand a proverb and a parable, the words of the wise and their riddles. So to understand mashal, which is a proverb, it's the hidden meaning of something hidden, and then umelitza is the answer, the deeper meaning of it and what it really means. The words of the wise people and their riddles. So let's see the Malbim on this. So lavin atay ve'er tzuras hasefer shenimtza ba mashal umelitza. Now that it's explaining the appearance of the book, that it has in it a mashal, it has in it a proverb and a melitza. Ha-melitza hu hanimshal, and the melitza is the parable. It's the explanation of the proverb. V'chein ilmadu mitocho lahavin mishlei haTorah shebichsav, v'ha-melitza shehu hamuskal hapnimi asher tachas alavush. So Shlomo HaMelech is saying, you're going to understand from what my book that I'm giving you, what I'm going to teach you, the words that I'm going to teach you, you're going to learn to understand the words of the Torah, the written Torah, and their parables. That's the deeper meaning that's under the covering, which is the proverb, which is the mashal. Tachas alavush. V'achitzon shehu hamashal kemoi besifrei eitz hadas, like for example in the stories of the tree of knowledge, eitz hadas, and a lot of my separatios. V'hanachash, and the snake that is all mentioned in Parshas Bereshis. In Genesis, yavin v'chadome, yavin hamashal v'gam mishal. Through understanding my book, through learning Mishlei, you're going to understand the proverb and the parable, the mashal, and then the deeper meaning of it, the nimshal, the parable. Shehem hadvarim shedibru chachamim lefaresh mitzvos haTorah. Divrei chachamim v'chidosam. You're going to understand the words of the wise people, of the chachamim, and their riddles. These are the words that the chachamim spoke to explain the Torah. V'hamusarim she'amru v'chadameh, and the different mitos and different things that they taught us. V'chein agadot hanistros, and there's a lot of stories that the chachamim bring, and like that are not understood. They're like parables to us. Some are not really stories, but agados. I don't know how to say it in English, but basically like these riddled words. And it's that they say them through a riddle, right? That you don't understand, only wise people could understand them. And through looking at this book, you'll understand their answer. In other words, a lot of times the Chachamim, when they're explaining words of the Torah, they speak in a riddle because they want to help you connect the dots and different things like that, but they don't want every just normal person to understand it, because the Torah itself hid it for a reason. So now this is the last word of the introduction, or maybe not even the introduction. Maybe it's the beginning of the Sefer Mishlei, and that is Yiras. Now we spoke about this before. So Yiras Hashem Reishis Das Chachma Umusar Evilin Bazu. The first of knowledge is the fear of God. Fear of God is the first of knowledge. The fear of Hashem is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. So what does it mean, the beginning over here? It means it's the foundation of knowledge. It's the foundation of knowledge. Why? Yiras Hashem Reishis Da'as. The fear of God is the Reishis of Da'as, of knowing what? Of knowing wisdom. Like we mentioned before, that you could only know wisdom through Musar, which is the vessel to harness the fear of God. You have the fear of God, you use Musar to harness the words of wisdom. And basically you cannot know wisdom without fear of God, and that's what Mishlei is going to that's what the Malim is going to explain. Yiras Hashem Reishis Das Hine Kol HaChachma Yesh HaTchala. Every type of wisdom, it has a starting point. She'al Yada Tivada HaChachma Vehem Yesodoseh. That through it you understand, like it has its rules, how to work through this wisdom, and those are that wisdom's foundations. Kama shechachmas handasa tibanet yesedasa al chush hamuskalus rishon. Like architecture and all of that, you use you have to use logic, you have to use simple logic or first step logic or whatever to understand how to build things. Wisdom of nature, how is that? What's its foundations? Testing and experimenting. But the wisdom of the Torah and the wisdom of the midos that are mentioned in this book in the name of wisdom, it doesn't say wisdom of Torah, wisdom of this, because Mishlei is saying the wisdom is the wisdom of Torah and the wisdom of Hashem. Therefore, he doesn't give it a name, an attachment name, like the wisdom of architecture or the wisdom of nature, but it's just wisdom alone. But so this wisdom that's mentioned, that's the wisdom of the Torah, its beginnings are not known through the mind, through logic. Kanal vehima kubelas me Hashem. Like we mentioned before, rather, where does its beginning start? It's not like it's counter logic or counterintuitive. That's not what it means. It means you don't get its foundations from simple logic and from. That's not where it comes from. That's not its source. Where is its source? Me Hashem asher china v'gam chakara. From Hashem, who created it and investigated it. Now I saw a interesting thing in the Sefer Yeshaya. I saw our Malbim explain, which will understand what a little bit what goes on, a little bit of wisdom, what it comes so there's a pasuk in Yeshaya. Now I don't remember the exact words of the pasuk, but the Malbim explains on this pasuk that Hashem bechachma, or actually, sorry, I think it was in Mishlei actually, but in any case, Hashem. Yeah, it was in Mishlei. I'm sorry, I got mixed up. It was in Mishlei. Hashem bechachma. Hashem through wisdom, He created the earth. He created the earth Konen Shamayim Besvuna. He created the sky with Tevuna, with understanding. B'da'atoi, with his knowledge, Tehamos Nifko, B'da'atoi, with his knowledge, all the waters, the Tehom, the deep waters came out, and basically all the abundance and good started coming with his knowledge. So wisdom comes first, because before Hashem created the world, it's not like there's logic or anything like that. He created it. That's wisdom. Then after so basically we see in Chazal, that Chazal say Hashem created worlds and destroyed them, till he decided which one is the wisdom to go by, which laws of wisdom should we create the world. So he created the world with wisdom. The sky, which the earth, let's say, is the foundation. Then through the foundation, let's say the earth is foundation. Maybe you could say now, based on the science, we'd say a little bit differently, perhaps. But whatever the case is, the foundation he created with wisdom. Konen Shamayim B'Sfuna, the sky, or the after creating. So he continued through Tvuna, which is in-depth understanding of the wisdom, because after he created the world, or started creating the world, he created something from nothing. Then there's already laws of how you go upon it, because he created a pack of wisdom, a pack of laws, or however you want to say it. So therefore he's not going to go against them. He's going to use those to continue after he chose the wisdom. And so then he used Tvuna, which is deep understanding of that wisdom, going in deep and understanding logic, and and learning one thing from one thing, another thing out of this the wisdom, and that's how he continued creating. Konen Shamayim B'da'atoi Tehamos Nifko, with his. Now, B'da'atoi Tehamos Nifko, I don't remember exactly what it means, but that's the main point we see over here. Wisdom is the sort. So therefore, because Hashem created wisdom, He gave it and passed it on to us. Fear of God is the beginning of is Reishis Das. That's the beginning of knowledge, of knowing wisdom. Chachma u'musar. Right. So, Hatchalasa loiva dubam fesasechel kanal v'hima kubelas me'Hashem asher yichina v'gam chakora. Im ken i'efshar lagia balachlal da'as sheida otza b'di'a bura. Therefore, it's not possible to get to it, to knowing it, that you should know it clearly. Rak al yedei hamusar v'yiras Hashem, only through musar and yiras Hashem, meaning only through the musar of fear of God, that he fears God and harnesses the right. Like we explained in Pasuk Aleph, she'al yadei koch hayira, that through the strength, the power of fear that is put into his nefesh, the Yiras Hashem me'avor tzanoi, fearing God to go over His will, v'yachin li ba lishmor chukei hachachma, and by harnessing himself through that fear, using musar, harnessing himself to prepare himself to guard the laws of wisdom, harnessing Hashem, ve'ikva b'libo ledvarim ne'amanim v'amitim, and he engraves them as true things in his heart. That's the only way he can know wisdom. Because through the belief in Hashem, that who made the laws of wisdom, like I explained, because he believes in Hashem who created the wisdom, and he has such a deep belief in Him, and then therefore it's as if he got it from logic, or from simple understanding. But this is only someone who believes in Hashem and His mitzvahs and doesn't doubt them. But therefore, the fools, that's someone who is in doubt and does not believe in Hashem. They have doubt on the wisdom, meaning this wisdom, is it true or not? Like what? If it's something to believe in or not. Bein al Yiras Hashem, they have doubt also on Yiras Hashem. Okay, maybe not. maybe there's fear of God, maybe there's a reason to fear God, maybe not. Shehu musar, that's the musar, that Yiras Hashem is the harnessing. That's the musar that harnesses you to keep this wisdom. So both of the aspects are gone for them. Shehi Reishis v'yesod da'as hachachma. That's the beginning, the only way, the foundation, and the to know wisdom. Heim mevazim es hachachma. So therefore they despise wisdom. Bein es musar, and bein the musar, which is fear of God. V'zeh kasav, and therefore it says avilim bazu chachma. Chachma musar, wisdom and musar and harnessing. Avilim bazu. Why? Because fear of God is the beginning of knowledge, and they doubt that. Wisdom has no other beginning rather than fear of God, and therefore they doubt it. Only through fear of God. And that fear of God only comes from belief in Hashem and the laws of the wisdom that came from Him. And therefore, because they doubt all of this, they despise the musar and the Yiras Hashem shenish enes aleha. That's what they do. So we're going to stop over here. This was the first, I would say, the beginning of the Mishlei. Now next we're going to learn, Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to learn what Shlomo HaMelech answers to these Evilim, to these fools, how he's going to answer to them and explain to them why not to despise wisdom and fear of God and all of that. And we're going to start, Shlomo HaMelech is going to start as if he's speaking to a small child and explain to him the first simple things, very easy opposites to understand, bad and good and all of that. And then he's going to go into more subtle things. Anyhow, I hope you all enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll get out another one pretty soon. Thank you very much.